If you have never gone back to your alma mater to just go gallivant with your girls, after doing so this weekend, 10 out of 10 recommend. So, my two best friends from college, we all live in three different cities. One lives in DC, one lives in Houston, and I currently live in Raleigh. And so, we decided to just go take a trip down memory lane. And so, we all went to the University of Maryland College Park. And it was honestly like to be visiting campus and just be walking through, the dorms and looking at like all of the newest renovations, like to do all of that, not knowing or knowing that you do not have to worry about turning in a single assignment or, study for an exam or, prep for a big midterm. Like it was the cutest experience. So we went to all of our dorms. So we stayed in Hagerstown, which that was freshman year. Humbling experience. I was in a quad and my best friend Janae was in what do you call them? A duo. It was one of them with two beds. But to go back there and to, sit on the steps and just reminisce about all the good of like pre-gaming and just like having a good time in our dorms, but also talking through the times when we was on the struggle boat with like, Chem 135 or Calc and just like all of the memories that we had in that building. It was so adorable. And we went to Darian's dorm where we spent a lot of time together once we started dating. We went to Easton, which is another place that's where Janae and I ended up being roommates. And so we roomed together for a year on campus and then roomed together for 2 years off campus and just chatted through all the times where I would irritate her. I'm older than her by a little bit, but I give little sister energy by a lot of it. But that was really cute. And Darian, like the first time I saw him was at the gym. So I stopped by the gym and took a picture. I'm probably going to turn this into a collage because I really do enjoy scrapbooking, both, digitally as well as physically. But I'm thinking of like, I'm going to take a couple weeks off coming up and I want to make sure I'm just like enjoying going down memory lane and yeah, being creative with it. So we did that. We saw like all of the newest buildings. Like some of the campus looked unrecognizable. And I was just like, we're over here thinking like, wait, wasn't there a park over there before? Or weren't there like these old dingy apartments there before? And yeah, the kids got it good now. They got kava in the building. They got chopped. They have duck donuts. Are you kidding me? When I saw that Duck Donuts, I said, see, they knew not to put that on campus while I was there because it would be the way that I would always be like, let me get a little sweet treat. So, yeah, that was cute. We went to, like, we stopped by where we used to always go out. Cornerstone was like a really fun bar that we would go to before going to the next function. And yeah, Route 1 looks the same in many ways, but it also looks very different. Like the Nando's not being there anymore. When we were on campus, like that had just recently been built. It was the talk of the town, and now it's been replaced. I can't remember the name of the restaurant that has now replaced it, but nonetheless, it's just like to psychologically know that like your identity and your day to day was so intertwined with this one physical place, and to know that when you graduate, like everyone's just like, okay, carry on. Like that's so, I don't know. It's like so much is very much the same and so much has been updated. And I really do hope so. Like with Hagerstown, for example, that was one of the only dorms on campus at the time that did not have AC. So I remember we had to buy like those huge box fans, put them in the window so that we could get some of that hot air coming into the dorm, but at least like we were getting some fresh air and it wasn't just like stale, humid air that 4 girls had been occupying or, living in. I can only imagine how bad it was on the boys' side, but nonetheless, like to see that they still had the air conditioning units on the outside, but only for the common areas, I was like, ain't no way it's 2026 and y'all still don't have AC. Like that would be so crazy to me. But the dining halls, Darian used to be an RA, so resident assistant. So essentially, as part of his compensation, he got free food. And so when we were dating on campus, I think I've shared this with you all on YouTube, but Darian and I do weekly date nights. Like that is a non-negotiable for us, even if it means like we're just gonna go to Chick-fil-A and sit in the car and eat together. Or it could be something as extravagant as like a 12-part omakase experience. Like as long as we have that dedicated time together, that's all that matters. So we started our relationship with intentional dating anyways. It wasn't on the weekly cadence, obviously, because we had exams to pass. But nonetheless, like we would go, I remember he would take me on dates to the diner and he would be like, get whatever you want, sure, sure. And to think that like I felt like I was the queen. Like I can get whatever I want. I was getting the hibachi. I was getting like they had different tiers like based off of honestly when I look back like the higher quality food you had to pay more for. And yeah, we would do brunch. Like we would go out the night before and then do brunch the next morning. I would be wearing one of his t-shirts because I would forget to pack or I wouldn't have planned to be staying at his place or whatever. And yeah, like just so many memories. And I think it's so important as especially in adulthood as we continue to have more and more responsibilities and feel more and more um I don't know, I'll speak for myself. Like there's always something that needs to get done and there's always people that I need to check on and make sure, especially like because most of my relationships are long distance, like being intentional about stuff and it's always like the go, 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 go towards what's next. But I do encourage like anyone who has the finances or the proximity, just go back to college campus and like yeah, both to reminisce on what was, but also, I don't know, I definitely have a heightened sense of pride when it comes to like seeing what campus looks like now. And it's like, yeah, heck yeah, I went here. And the mall still looks stunning. Like, so I didn't know this when we originally planned the trip, but the kids are actually on spring break now. I was interested to see how people move on the weekend. So we went on a Saturday afternoon. Now, Saturday afternoons, when we were on campus, Route 1 was popping. Like, the girls were pre-gaming. We were going to the diner to get food before we started our extravaganzas. The football games, if we had a home game, like those were loud and exciting. But it was so quiet. I wasn't ready for that. But I would have loved to see how the kids are moving now. And my youngest sister, she graduated 2 years ago, and she had mentioned like at UNC, they don't operate the same way that we did back in our day. So I was like, maybe it's a UNC thing and wanted to get a vibe check for UMD, but that didn't happen. So yeah, we had our giggles. We had, talked about like, you ever know what happened to so-and-so? It's been a while since, because like we would look at the dorms that our friends stayed in when we were on campus. And yeah, it was really, really special. So if you got the girls, if y'all are still BFFs, I should say that first and foremost, because a lot can change. And it's been 13 years since we met each other and a lot can change, but do it. I wish I'd be able to go to homecoming this year because that would also be really cool to do like an extended visit. I haven't been back to homecoming in years. Since pre-pandemic for sure. I think 2019 was the last time I came back for homecoming. But yeah, shout out to UMD. Go Terps. Check on your girls. Make sure that y'all can take some time just to sit and pause, whether that's going to campus, whether that's just like having a girls' night, reminiscing. But life is moving very fast right now. We're all having a lot more responsibilities. The world's getting crazier and crazier. So make sure you take that time, hit pause. And if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow.